Alright, so today on the workbench we have this Jackson Soloist Slathxmg guitar. It needs a little bit of work. It's not in too bad of condition. I'll show you up here from the top to the bottom what we need to do. Looks like we need to do a little bit of fret leveling. It's just starting to kind of wear some divots on the first fret. And you can see it's just a little bit flatter on some of these upper frets where it's a little more worn than the rest. So we'll just do a light leveling and then a recrown. It also has this one little ding on the third fret around the first string. As it is, I can barely feel it, so I don't think it's really going to be noticeable once you have the strings on here. And you'll also notice that the fretboard is quite a bit dirty, so I'll be cleaning that up and getting that nice and tidy. And then one last issue is it was missing this bolt to hold in this toggle switch. So I have a new one of those and I'll be replacing that. Other than that, it's just generally a little bit dirty. It has some grease spots on the guitar, and I'll be cleaning those up and then getting this guitar back in service. All right, let's get started on this one. And here's the frets and the fretboard after leveling, crowning, and polishing. Much better. I did notice two more little tiny dings on the edge of the fretboard up here by the first fret. Alright, so this three-way switch needs one of these little tiny nuts. I don't know if you can see that. You can get a pack of like 10 of them for a few dollars, so that's what I did. We'll just throw that on there. Kind of tricky. Kind of have to hold this up at the same time while you thread it on there. There you go. Not too bad once you get it started, but it's a little tricky since it's recessed down in there to get it tightened up. Might need to use something like a Allen wrench to get in there. Yeah, that works pretty good. You can grip the little grooves on the outside with your Allen wrench. Kind of push it around while you hold the top. Hopefully that's in the right orientation. I'll check it when I get strings on it and test it out again with an amplifier. So yeah, I just needed to do that. And like I said, this body has quite a bit of dirt and debris on it. Might not show up really well in the pictures, but there's more on the back, like down here. Just looks like grease actually. And then there's a bit of that here on the neck as well. Let me see if I get that angled where you can see it. Yeah, right there. So now we just need to polish the guitar up before we get a set of strings on it. It's always easier to get around these parts while you have the strings off. And for this part right here, all that dust inside the bridge there, I'm just going to use a toothbrush to get in there. It's easier that you could take these all apart, but that's a lot of extra work when you can just get a brush. I mean, you could use a bigger brush like a paintbrush if you had one with soft bristles. I'll just get you in a little closer here, see how dusty it is before. And then I'll hit it with my toothbrush and then show you the after. And there we go, that's what it looks like afterward. There's still a little bit on there as far as like really stuck on grease or in dirt, but that gets all that top level dust off there really easily. Where's my guitar polish? Where's my guitar polish? All right, found the polish finally. It's good to get in some of these tight corners too without taking them off. You can get a lot of the dust that kind of collects down and around the sides. So yeah, this cleaned up pretty good overall. It has some scuffs, like right here on the binding. On the top there's a little bit, and kind of on this corner right here. There's some very light scuffing. And overall, just no real dings or dents on the body, but there are those real light scuffs and then marks in the clear coat, which are really pretty common on any kind of used guitar that's been played at all. But on this guitar, it just doesn't really show up in it unless you're really angling it and looking for it. Otherwise it looks pretty clean. So she cleaned up pretty well. Now I got to get a set of strings on it, tune it up, and then do a little bit more setup work to it, and we'll be ready to go. All right, I just kind of got to check the action, check the truss rod adjustment. Ooh, that's pretty much right on, as it is. We'll have to check it again once I get it tuned up. See where the action is right at the moment. Pretty low right now, only about 1.25 on the bass and about 1 on the treble. We'll see how it is when it's all tuned up. Truss rod's about the same. Action's about the same too. I'm going to go give it a play and see what I need to do. Right, so the truss rod was a little too low, so I adjusted that. And that adjustment has brought the string height up a little bit. Let's see where we're at. Now we're up around 2 millimeters on the bass, which is fine. It's kind of in between 1.75 and 2, which is about where I like to play it. And on the treble, we're right at 1.75, so that's fine. But all the strings are sharp at the 12th, so I need to adjust the intonation and bring all these saddles back that direction. Make the string longer when it's sharp. Right? Right. Of course. Sure. So let's do that. So loosen up the strings and then tighten up these screws. So there's less tension when you do the tightening. You could do it at pitch, but it's just hard to turn these when it's at full tension and you're trying to lengthen the string. It's better to loosen them up. Make your day go much easier. So I'm probably just going to give them 3 or 4 turns each and then recheck it. I wouldn't do it uniformly like this every time, but I checked each string and they were about the same amount sharp. So this will be a good starting point to move them all back about the same amount and then recheck it. All right, so I still need to set the intonation. They're all a bit sharp. First string's okay now. I need to bring this one back some more. Actually, all these need to come back a little bit more. They're all still sharp. There we go. She's all ready to play. All right, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video with the next guitar on the workbench. Thanks for watching. See you later.